A while ago, I made a list of the best mobile city building games and you all loved it. So how about a new one for upcoming mobile strategy building games in 2024? Mobile games can have a lot of pitfalls though, so will any of these be worth your time on the go? Let's find out. Starting off cool with Frostpunk Beyond the Ice. Frostpunk is probably one of the best city builders of the last decade, and a mobile version of Frostpunk is intriguing. Essentially, this is what Frostpunk is already. It's the end of the world has frozen over and you're trying to survive and start a new culture in this post-apocalyptic wasteland. In this game, you'll be building your own steampunk city, strategically placing buildings for optimal efficiency and constructing a unique city with special buildings. There's resource supply through the trading base. You're exchanging essential resources with other players, and you will be able to acquire special items at the shop or through black market merchants. And interestingly, this does allow you to play with others. You can communicate with other players using the social features. You can visit your friends' cities, and even help each other out with each other's cities. Some side things added into this version of Frostpunk is you'll be able to rescue and protect animals, but there is the expected stuff of safeguarding your city and citizens against natural disasters, choosing laws and ethics to advance or, I don't know, regress your social situation. And you can embark on expeditions to discover resources in the snowy wilderness. Generally speaking, Frostpunk Beyond the Ice seems to be for Frostpunk players. If you already enjoy Frostpunk, but you want Frostpunk on the go on your phone, then Beyond the Ice seems to be designed for you. It is in early access right now, which honestly I didn't really know mobile games went into early access. Maybe that's a good sign, that it's more like a PC game going into early access. So there is plenty out there about Frostpunk Beyond the Ice, but it's not quite done yet. So you can check it out and see if you want to bring a frozen wasteland city with you as you're on the go. Next, we have today's sponsor, Age of Empires Mobile, but here's why I was interested in getting them to show me more of this. You know those mobile RTS games that use Age of Empires footage to trick people into downloading the wrong game? Whether it's including an Age of Empires screenshot to imply their game is some kind of spiritual successor, tracing an image where you can barely tell the difference, or even straight up just showing Age of Empires to mislead people. The idea of a mobile Age of Empires game has been so desired, countless fake mobile games have done it. Now we have a real official Age of Empires Mobile, which you can check out with the link below, and hopefully when people search for a mobile Age game, it no longer leads to all the scams. For decades, Age of Empires has dominated the RTS genre. The first Age in 1997 transformed what RTS could do. Age 2 continues to blow up. Age of Mythology is getting a remake. And Age 4 not only took off, it had the franchise's best-selling expansion of all time last year with The Sultan's Ascend, probably making it the most successful modern RTS. I know people say RTS is dead, but apparently a good RTS still gets played. But mobile RTS often just isn't good. Age of Empires Mobile has a lot that needs to be delivered. An actual RTS with depth and complexity. Multiplayer is nice, but a single-player campaign would be great. Progression in terms of room for personal skill growth and in-game leveling, and balanced gameplay which is not pay to win. The goal of Age of Empires Mobile is to stay true to its roots and to deliver as rich as possible RTS-based gameplay, which is a big promise. Mobile often means limited controls, small screen sizes, and it's just often fiddly compared to PC gaming. Macro, sure, but micro? There really needs to be some innovation on how RTS is played and controlled on mobile. Having said that, the promise here is to keep the scale big, number of units many, and core RTS mechanics like base building, resource collection, and army micro as fleshed out as possible. That's the goal anyway. The development team says they have been dedicated to creating mobile strategy games for 7 years. With the added technical assistance from World's Edge, everything appears to be promising. From the footage shown so far, it looks like it's all there in concept, and basically looks like Age 4, but a bit more compact. Hero units, sieges with trebuchets, and even having terrain effects and ambush mechanics, which were introduced in Age 4. If you know the Age of Empires franchise, you can see how Age of Empires Mobile is trying to be what players expect. From villagers hunting and gathering berries, the classical music segments, they have made an effort to capture the key elements of the franchise. Maybe we'll even see the Cobra car. But really, RTS is a challenging genre, and creating an RTS game that uses inputs that aren't keyboard and mouse is difficult. The team at Timi Studios Group promises that they've taken time to make this game with touch inputs that's easy for mobile gamers to learn, but will Age of Empires Mobile actually be able to deliver on all their promises? Time will tell. It's coming to the app and Google Play Store, so you can pre-register if you want to keep your eye on it, but they also post more details and updates on the social channels if you want the latest updates. But remember, click the link in the description if you want to check it out. Then we have the next Elder Scrolls game. Yes, that's right, Bethesda announced that they're releasing the next Elder Scrolls game. And it's not Elder Scrolls 6. It's The Elder Scrolls Castles. It's a mobile game, which does kind of look like, at first glance, look like Fallout Shelter, but it's The Elder Scrolls. You'll be building up your dynasty, you become king, you make decisions, you can fight dragons, and you level up, all while managing your castle. Each day in real life is a year in The Elder Scrolls Castles, so as you're training your subjects, naming heirs, and maintaining order, you have to keep your people happy and make sure you stay as a ruler. Or, you know, try to survive assassination attempts, which you'll have to be a bit clever about that. Generally, when it comes to your castle, you're building it from the ground up, adding and expanding rooms, placing lavish decorations and monuments, and assigning subjects to workstations to make sure you have the resources needed to thrive, or not, I guess. And the choices you make will determine if your rule will inspire prosperity or lead your castle to peril. Through all this, quests will come in so you can create heroes, equip them with gear, and send them out to battle against Elder Scrolls enemies. And you know, I know this isn't what everyone was hoping for the Elder Scrolls. Let's face it, Elder Scrolls 6 is a long way away. But, you know, Fallout Shelter was quite popular, and it seems like Bethesda has found a little niche in the mobile market to create something that people do actually enjoy. So it'll be interesting to see if the Elder Scrolls Castles can live up to the success of Fallout Shelter. And from having seen what it is, I think it'll be pretty much about as successful. But it has to be said that it's not the first mobile Elder Scrolls game. There was the Elder Scrolls Blades, remember that? And I don't think that one did quite as well as Fallout Shelter, but maybe that's why this one looks so much like Fallout Shelter. So they're moving away from the Elder Scrolls Blades format into this more base building management kind of style of game, and it's probably a smart idea they're doing that. Hey, now that you're a bit into the list, I'm sure you're enjoying it, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you can like the video. Thank you. Alright, next game. And then we have another mobile RTS called Total War Battles Warhammer. This is what's calling itself the first Warhammer mobile game with RTS gameplay. It's supposed to be recreating the world of Warhammer Fantasy with 1000-unit battles. You outsmart your enemies and write your own Warhammer epic, and it is aiming to bring deep strategic gameplay to mobile devices, which again, as I've been mentioning earlier, mobile and RTS, there's a lot of pitfalls, a lot of challenges, and it's hard to tell whether this is going to, you know, really make it. Some innovation has to happen with mobile RTS for it to be good, you know? But I mean, this one, at first glance, it looks good. It seems to have the elements of Total War, Warhammer anyway. But it has to be said that the Total War series has had some severe ups and downs recently. The Warhammer Total War games have been doing quite well, but others like Pharaoh, not so much. And it seems like Total War is always kind of a bit of a coin toss whether it's going to be a good game or not. This mobile game is based on the Warhammer Total War games for a reason, as it's probably their most successful series of games recently. But will it be able to bring what people love about the PC games onto mobile? That remains to be seen. Having said that, it was announced over 3 years ago, so there's no clear release window at this point. So it may be coming in 2024, or at least some kind of beta or early access or something like that. It doesn't seem dead yet, however, I wouldn't hold my breath for Total War Battles Warhammer. Now this next one, I don't know, it's kind of new, it's kind of not, I don't know how to classify how this game has been going. Plants vs. Zombies 3, Welcome to Zomburbia. Now, Plants vs. Zombies is a very famous strategy building tower defense kind of game that I think all of you know, and it's been over 10 years since Plants vs. Zombies 2. But also you might be thinking that Plants vs. Zombies 3 isn't a new game? But also, why are they announcing Welcome to Zomburbia in 2024? So it's kind of weird. Plants vs. Zombies 3 had kind of a soft launch a number of years ago, but it wasn't like a full launch. And then they were changing things up, and then it had another soft launch. Now, mobile games sometimes have these soft launches where they only release in a certain region or just a few countries, but it's not like a full launch. So I guess Plants vs. Zombies 3 has been in early access this whole time, and it's been reworked, I guess? So although if you look at it on the store, it shows that it's got like 500,000 downloads already on the Play Store, and it's got over 1,000 user reviews, but it's not apparently out, but it kind of, it's playable, but not everywhere, but also kind of is. So I don't know whether this is a new game, but they have announced Plants vs. Zombies 3 Welcome to Zomburbia is coming in 2024, and I think this is supposed to be a full release, I think. Well anyway, if you haven't heard of the new Plants vs. Zombies, there's all new zombie invasions, of course new enemies, new zombie types. You're rebuilding Neighborville, where you'll be exploring through the fog and expanding the area and renovating the town and decorating it as well, which is nice. So it's sort of mixing the tower defense strategy gameplay with this base building thing, and I think the base building thing is quite popular. That's why all of these are kind of technically building games as well as strategy games. They kind of mix it up on mobile because I think on mobile everyone just kind of likes that experience. And of course Plants vs. Zombies is kind of a puzzle game as well, and you'll be leveling yourself up and testing your strategic approach to the various weirder and weirder thematic levels, as you would expect of a Plants vs. Zombies game. So yeah, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be Plants vs. Zombies, but also its development has been a bit weird, but that's what it is. Then, I'm gonna talk about the game, which is why EA will not make another Command & Conquer on PC. Command & Conquer Legions. So EA owns the Command & Conquer IP, and everyone wants a new Command & Conquer game. The Command & Conquer remasters were actually really good. They hired the original developers, which are now at Petroglyph, and they did a fantastic job remastering 2 of the Command & Conquer games. And people kind of thought, well, that went really well, and maybe they'll remaster the rest leading up to a new release. And no, we didn't even get any more remasters. It was just those 2, and that's it. And it's probably because EA is busy making money from Command & Conquer mobile games. So a number of years ago, Command & Conquer Rivals released, and that apparently makes lots and lots of money. So they're making a new kind of mobile game, Command & Conquer Legions. Now, it's supposed to take place in a universe after the Third Tiberium War, and you can recruit classic units, unleash devastating powers of assault walkers, and change the course of war with super weapons. I mean, it kinda looks like it's a mobile Command & Conquer game, which I guess is fine, but it's EA and their mobile games, and I'm gonna be extremely cautious about this having any chance of being an actual RTS. But you know, who knows? Command & Conquer Legions is in development, and I guess visually it looks good, but also just reputation and history-wise, I would be very cautious with any new Command & Conquer game. I'll be curious to see what Command & Conquer Legions is on release, but if you're looking for an actual PC-based Command & Conquer game, I've got that covered. Just check out the main strategy list There's a lot of games out there trying to be the next Command & Conquer because EA refuses to make a new PC Command & Conquer game. So there's a lot of games out there which are trying to do it instead. And the original developers who are at Petroglyph are also releasing a new RTS as well. So there's lots of competition out there and there's a lot of people trying to pick up the mantle because Command & Conquer at the moment is just busy on mobile with Command & Conquer Legions. Alright, there you have it. Press the like button and use the GOG referral link below to support videos like this one. Just click the link and buy any game. It really does help. Thank you to all the patrons and YouTube members who really support this channel. Join if you want your name on future videos. If you want to stay in the know for another genre, go to the next list video linked on screen, because if you're into mobile strategy and building games, well, we've got a lot of strategy and building games on PC and other platforms as well, so you'll likely enjoy the other lists I've got on the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you there.